Welcome to Land Academy. This is the Cash Flow from Land show. We show you how to buy real estate for half of what it's worth
and sell it on the internet really fast.
I'm Jack Butala.
I'm Jill DeWit. We are Jack and Jill, and this is the Jack and Jill Show, too.
With over 15,000 completed transactions, we're the experts at acquiring property.
Of all kinds, not just land.
For half price and flipping them for way more.
All right, let's get this show started.
Jack Butala with Jill DeWit.
Hello.
Welcome to our show today. In this episode, Jill and I talk about, hey, let's not jump the gun on your real estate investment career. Great show today, Jill. Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on successplant.com, our free online community.
Okay. John asked, hi, everyone. I'm looking for some reassurance or home truths. I seem to be getting a few calls of interest, but it's as if people aren't reading my letter. 2 people have called with real interest. When they ask what I want to offer, I tell them it's $500 as it says on the purchase agreement, and they abruptly try to end the call saying the offer's a joke, and in one case that she knew the land was worth at least $25,000. I've looked at the assessed value of that particular land, and it is only $3,500. The other call went pretty much the same way, with them saying $15,000 and the assessed value being $2,000. I know that assessed value is really only there for tax purposes. Am I missing something? Or is this just disgruntled landowners think their land is worth far more than it actually is? Thanks.
Jill, you want to answer this?
It's probably maybe both. I mean, well, are you missing something? I'm not so sure. I mean, are you really? Make sure you are looking at the right comps and you are looking at not really the assessed value so much, because yes, that is for tax purposes, but you want to look for the real comparable properties that are available and being offered for sale in that area, because there's very often the assessed value and what you and what they're selling for is drastically different. So. And then sometimes I have had those people that they really think that their asset is priceless, and I understand that. When they bought it, X was going to happen, and this was going to grow, and this was going to happen, and they may not even be there, and they think it's a beautiful, gorgeous thing, and it didn't really pan out, and they don't know. So sometimes there is some of that going on.
John, thank you for the question, and kudos to you, man. You finally you got some stuff in the mail. You got some offers in the mail, and you're a lot further than a lot of people are. So great work. Pricing properties is a big topic lately.
Mm-hmm, it is.
We talk about it on the weekly call all the time.
It's true.
So in our program, in the Cash Flow from Land program, I talk about how to price property in great detail. But here's a summary. If you're going to buy property in any given area, even out west here, where we try to buy it for about $100 an acre and sell it for $200 or $300 or $400. Actually, we don't try. We do it every day. We buy property at about 25% of the cheapest posted for sale property. So if lots of properties are posted for $4,000, you want to try to buy that property for 25% of that, $1,000. So if first of all, you only got 2 responses that you've described here, that's actually pretty good. I hope that your mailer was large enough, but we don't recommend sending out a mailer that's smaller than 1,500 units. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to. A lot of people, their first response is when they send a mailer out, well, let's just test it. We'll send a couple hundred letters out and see what happens.
That's not a good test. You need more than, and more than 2 people will call back, by the way, when you have this, when you're doing it.
200 will.
Yeah, exactly. It's coming.
And some of them are, some of them have an unrealistic idea of what their property's worth, and some of them are downright angry. Mm-hmm. There's no bones about it, but some of them sign it and send it back, and that's what we're looking for.
Exactly.
So you'll be fine.
For every story like this, John, I mean, we have other stories like, I'm holding out for $10,000 and they call me back a month later and now $500 is acceptable. And we just had a member call the other day, and I'm not going to give any details other than, they picked up 11 properties for $200.
Right.
Total.
So
there's all kinds of crazy variances, so don't get discouraged and hang in there.
It's really hard to digest this concept, but it's really not about the property at all. It's about the circumstance that the seller's in. Mm-hmm. There's lots of triggers that trigger people to sell real estate. This is true for houses, apartment buildings, and all kinds of stuff. If you have a family illness, if somebody passes away and you're handling your mom or dad's estate, and on and on and on. They just plain need money. They're going to sell the property to you, and price is really not going to matter. But this particular call that Jill's talking about, and the caller, that was what I started to say. All through the program, I talk about offering $100 an acre. Well, $100 an acre is not going to work in Manhattan, Manhattan, New York. It's just not. You're not going to buy a skyscraper for $100 an acre.
pick any Manhattan.
So, what will work generally for land is offering 25% of the lowest price property. The more rural it is, the better yield you're going to have. I'm oversimplifying it to just answer this question, but here's the takeaway. We have all the answers. We've been doing it for 15 or 20 years. So, and this is a great question, and it's impossible to actually address it without knowing a little bit more, but I think that's the gist of it. I mean, is that pretty clear, Jill?
Well, and the other thing to point out is the assessed value. When we talk about, and you're pulling your data and you're getting your group together, the assessed value is just one way so you don't accidentally hit the wrong group, like Jack just said. You make sure you cap the assessed value, so you aren't accidentally sending crazy offers to property that really is worth a whole lot of money. But do you price it based on assessed value in your offer?
There's 3 or 4, maybe 5 components to looking at the universe of data in a given county, like we do with the data to doorstep, and then utilizing those 3 or 4 steps. If I described them right now, Joe would fall asleep. This is not a lecture. It's not a PhD lecture.
Not just me. We'd lose half of our listeners. Right. Just kidding.
No, so it actually gets pretty scientific when you get into it in the program or on the calls and stuff. We cover that, but this podcast and show is not. It's supposed to be half entertainment and half information. What did you call it? Infotainment.
Infotainment.
Joe came up with a phrase.
It's infotainment. That's right. What if it was my other thing? Everybody was teasing me the other day. It was they were going to Jill it, and it was
Jillify it.
Jillify it.
That's what everybody around the office says. Just give it to her. She'll Jillify it.
That's right. Well, it's not. It's spread. Our members are talking about. All right, we're going to Jillify it now. Okay.
That just means take a regular topic and make it all happy and nice.
So, John, you could Jillify these calls when they call back and they say $25,000. You can go, I must have forgot a couple zeros.
Yep. Where would you like me to send the check? That's what I say. What? You're going to send me $25,000?
Could you imagine? That would be hilarious. I kind of want to do that now.
I've done it.
Someone's going to call and go, you know what? This is absolutely crazy. I think this thing is worth $50,000. Okay, done. They'll be like, what? Just kidding.
All kidding aside, you got to loosen these people up when they call back. They'll sell you their property. Yeah. They're angry one minute. They're selling you their stuff for $500 the next.
That's the truth. They picked up the phone and called you instead of the real people that go, yeah, this is so not in the ballpark. Those are the ones that just throw it away and they're not interested. But this person took time out of their day to call you for a reason. So that's a little trigger that, they do want to sell. They're not so happy about your offer. And it doesn't mean they're not going to be happy about your offer in 2 weeks. They're just not happy about it today. So let's just see. Don't throw those out yet.
Exactly. Well said. Today's topic: let's not jump the gun in your real estate career. What the heck does that mean? This is the meat of the show. What we see we have tons of members, and we are very fortunate to see how different people react to in their beginning of their REI career. And what we love to see is people, they follow directions through our programs. They do what we say with a little bit of interpretation and artistic license. They ask a bunch of questions. They get some offers out, and they start buying property. And then we don't hear from them anymore because they go off and they learn on their own, and they go silent, as Jill and I call it. It's like sending your kid to college, and you don't hear from them when they get their report card back, and they're getting all A's. So everything's fine. So that's the vast majority of the experience that we've had. But sometimes we get a few rogue members who want to do it all at once. They want to send multiple counties mailers. They've never done a mail order before, but they want to send 10,000 letters out. They don't have a website up yet. 10,000 letters out with their cell phone number on it. Oh, no. There's an A to B to C here. So what I mean is, let's not jump the gun on this thing, on your whole career. We don't want to quit our job. We want to slowly, methodically buy a few pieces of property, get that first deal done, get all the jitters out and the kinks out and the whole thing. And take it step by step by step, and pretty soon your bank balance is going to be pretty big. And that's exactly what we experience with most of our members.
I have 3 points that I wanted to make about the not jumping the gun that I experience a lot. One is, just like you isolated, Jack, they go in the wrong order. They're doing this before that, and they're not being slow and methodical. The second thing I see is by jumping the gun and kind of goofing it all up, they start with an apartment building. What the heck? They think that I got all the steps now. I can do this. I'm going to start with an apartment building. Okay, well, let's hold on. If you've never done real estate, you've never done investing, you've never sent out a mailer, this is a whole new thing for you. I'm not sure. If you start with an apartment building, it's probably not gonna go great, and you might, not have a good experience here, and then dump the whole thing. And I don't want that to happen.
And then you wonder why.
Exactly.
I want to buy an apartment building.
Exactly. Well, and then the other 3 is, the third thing is, I see people shopping for a home run only.
That's a good point.
that is where I see jumping the gun. Like, I heard so-and-so did this, and I read so-and-so did that, so I'm just going to hang out and watch for those deals. Hold on, everyone. If you're sitting here spending 6 months looking for that one home run, when in that 6 months, you could have had, 100 singles, like Jack says, you would have been ahead.
You would have made more.
You would have made more, and you know more. You have the experience now.
And you got a machine in place, too.
Right. And you know what? The home runs will come.
Oh, yeah.
So when you're doing all those 100 little in the 6 months, whatever your schedule is, Jack's really good about that. And I love that in our program.
What am I good about?
You talk about,
I'm always interested.
We both say working it backwards.
A lot of times I hear what I'm not good at.
Right.
I like to hear what am I good about?
One of the things that you're really good at, you're good at a lot of things, Jack, silly. Okay, one of the things that you're really good at is sitting down with a spreadsheet and planning it out. All right, I want to have X amount of money coming in or X amount of properties or whatever it is by the end of 12 months. Okay, let's work it backwards. And then when you do that, you go down to, okay, well, that's a deal a week or a deal a month.
Yeah.
You kind of go, I can do that.
Just deconstruct it. Yeah.
Yeah. So by doing that and having that schedule, not jumping the gun and being slow and methodical, if you do everything right and do little things like, my little thing, ask them what else they have when they're calling you back, you're going to find those little home runs in there, and it's just going to happen.
People come to us and they join us from all different walks of life. Some people they're sick and tired of flipping houses. It's complicated, it's expensive, and there's a lot of unknowns. Some people are, they start their whole career off with us. They start their whole real estate REI career with us, and this is a stepping stone for them, and they move on to other stuff. Or they're like us, they get the machine in place, and the land thing kind of runs in the background. It pays everybody's salary. They do really well. And then we go off and bite off bigger and better things as we go, as we learn. So whatever it is for you, wherever you are, if there's a place for you. Mm-hmm. We have a couple of members who are acquisition specialists in Chicago for a commercial real estate company, and they had no idea you could send out direct mail unsolicited offers for commercial property and get some back. Mm-hmm. Those guys are killing it, and Jill and I do that too. We don't talk about it too often, but we do. Mm-hmm. So don't jump the gun. Just take it step A to B to C. You're going to do just great. If you're crazy type A personality like me, it's going to feel like it takes 5 years, but it's really only a month and a half. Right?
It's 5 weeks, exactly.
Hey, this is the Technical 2 minutes of property investment advice from our 15-year, 15,000 transaction experience. Get past that first deal first. Period. Let's not think about what Jill said, buying apartment buildings and stuff. Let's go slowly, methodically, mechanically go through that first transaction. Get a deed done by yourself. Use the resources that we have, like deedperfect.com, and go through the whole transaction and ask a ton of questions on successplan.com. It's free. That's why it's there. Jump on. Everybody's on Success Plans going through the same thing you are. Go on there and ask away. They're doing the same thing right alongside of you. They'll answer your questions. They'll say, I did that 2 weeks and I made a mistake. Get that first deal done first, and then get that second deal done, and the third one, not all 20. We talk about a lot of pie in the sky stuff on this show, but when it comes to it, you just got to get that first deal done. And we talk about that first deal a lot too, I guess. Hey, if you have any questions or you want to be on the show, call 800-725-8816. Oh, it's the inspiration portion of the show, my favorite part.
I have a sound effect today, too.
Oh.
Don't scare anybody. What's this going to be? All right. My inspiration for today is to do this. Ready?
Is that your paycheck?
Tear up your to-do list. It's not tear up your paycheck. No.
I love this kind of stuff. This is
Most
awesome.
of my inspiration comes from what's going on with me right now today. And today, my to-do list is running my life, and I'm tired of it. I'm not kidding. I am just
tired of running your life?
Tired of my to-do list running my life. Jack, you know that.
Oh, this is awesome.
Right? Jack and I just got back from a nice meal and catching up, and I'm looking at my to-do list, and Jack's looking at me like, what's going on? And I'm like, I just can't take this anymore. And my to-do list is running my life. And and it's okay, like I am today, I'm just going to tear the whole thing up.
That's great, Jill.
Because I
love it.
It's messing me
I wish
up.
you'd do that more often.
Yeah, thank you. It's messing me up. It's messing up my day. It's messing up how I feel. It's messing up my mood.
And then it's messing me up.
And
then
it spills into everything else. It spills into my meetings. It spills into my everything. And it's silly. It is silly. So I'm officially giving everyone permission to tear up. Tear up.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna
500 emails on this.
Watch. No, it's going to be from everybody's bosses are going to come and go, you told my employee to rip up the to-do list, and then they left.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
They all went to a baseball game, or they went watch something. Yeah, yep.
It doesn't mean burn your life down.
No.
It just means take a break, I think.
Yes, it
Or
does.
maybe it does. I don't know. Don't burn.
No,
do not burn
it
your
means
life down, please.
it means tear up your to-do list now and then. Not every day. It's not every day. This is like once in a while. Give yourself that little pass and tear it up.
Are you like a compulsive list maker? Do you sit
Me?
around, you make lists and stuff?
Totally. Do you know why?
I didn't know that.
I have papers with me everywhere. It's silly, because I have a sense of accomplishment to cross things off. It's a little thing for me. That's a whole nother inspiration. But anyway, tear up your to-do list. Give yourself a break.
Okay, awesome. Join us in another episode where Jack and Jill discuss how to use information, that's me,
And inspiration, that's me.
to get just about anything you want.
We use it every day to buy property for half or maybe 25%, just kidding, of what it's worth and sell it immediately.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. I don't know why I never thought of doing sound effects on the show.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
That when I said that, it could be like, I don't know what.
Now I'm gonna go on Amazon and try to get a sound effects machine or something.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We don't need like a boing in the background
Not silly stuff, but like noises that real estate investors make. Not themselves, but like stuff that happens in your real estate career.
What would that be?
I don't know. I have to think about it, but I think once in a while it's kind of funny. Or office noises. I don't know.
I don't know what that would be. Like a phone ringing? We've
Yeah.
had that in our
Yeah, that
thing.
kind of thing. Yeah, we don't have control of that.
We've had Jack's cell phone go off, so that's already in there.
That happened this show, I think. I concealed it pretty well.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad you like that.
Tear up your list.
Yeah, I need a break sometimes. I need a break. It's a
Probably
good
need
thing.
a break from me.
No, you're good.
Information and inspiration to buy undervalued property.
We are Jack and Jill, and this was the Cash Flow from Land Show.
We are the experts at acquiring property
Of all kinds, not just land,
for half price just so we can flip it for way more.
and really fast. Thanks for listening.
Let's go buy some property. If you want to get involved or you need more information about our profitable, niche real estate operation, call 480-467-0359. You just might get Jill at the other end of the line.
Landacademy.com. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.